In a world where you're going to see Jane Fonda's boobs in a lot of weird camera angles, there is Barbarella! Ella!
There's also unicorn stingrays.
What's up, everybody? This is the Comic Book Picture Show. That is Patrick.
What up, what up?
And I am the, 18th president, Andrew Jackson. I'm going to feel real stupid when I look it up later. I'll be like, no, he was the 23rd.
Very far off, yeah. Don't ask me.
But yeah, how are you feeling, dude?
I'm alright. Well, not so, I mean, we just sat and watched this and then hit the record button right after, so it's fresh. So, confused.
I want to shower.
I guess this is confused is how I'm feeling.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about, like, what's his face? The angel, Pagor? We watched it 5 minutes ago.
I don't know, yeah. Right now, the ending credits is up, and I can't tell if that's their version of space or the living energy or what it is, because like all of it looked the same and it looked different every time it showed it.
Yeah, it's all right. We have a format. We'll get into it. It's good. So Barbarella, 1968, released on October 11th by some fucking studio you've never heard of. Don't worry about it. But it was directed by a guy named Roger Vadim, which sounds so fancy. And it was written by Terry Southern, Roger Vadim, Claude Blur,
I don't know.
Vittoria Bonicelli, Clement Biddlewood, What up, world? Brian Degas, Tudor Gates, and Jean-Claude Forrest. Too many people.
Yeah.
Way too many people. Do you think each of them had a weird, gross idea and they all made it in?
I mean, it had to have. There was way too many, like, sexualized scenes for all of them not to be down with that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, we're going to try and break down who wrote which one.
No. I'm good.
Terry Southern definitely had that plastic bed idea.
Saran wrap. She was just laying on the saran wrap. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
What about furry walls? With furry guy who takes off the furry coat and then he's furry under.
Alright, we will get into him. We're not going to get in him, but yeah. Alright, yeah. Box office, $5.5 million in North American rentals. Could not find the actual box office for this movie, so I had to go off their rentals.
That's strange.
Yeah. Its budget was estimated to be between $4 and $9 million. I'm really hoping it's closer to the 4, because this movie looks like shit.
Yeah, that stingray looked like a stuffed animal that was dragging them when she first got to the planet. And
the Shining twins there. Yeah. We'll get into them. But first, I have to ask, is it rotten?
You know,
okay.
Yeah.
Good. What were you gonna say?
The last movie and this movie are like the same, and we thought the last movie was, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say this one isn't rotten.
You're right. 74% with a 63 Metacritic score.
Oh my god.
I know! What is with people? Why are they so gross?
It's just weird, man.
Can I tell you something?
It was all over the place.
I was talking to a buddy at work the other day about how we had to do this movie. he was like, dude, my dad loves that movie. Like, to the point where he's probably spent, like, tens of thousands of dollars on memorabilia from the movie. And, like, has read some of the comics and, like, loves her. And, like, was gonna pass along this, like, memorabilia down to his kids when he dies. And, like, the kids are like, we don't want this creepy ass shit. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do with this, you perv? Like, oh, man. So, we have a couple of reviews we can read from. Some of them are fun. The Variety staff on April 17, 2007? Right? Yep, I'm reading that right. Despite a certain amount of production dash and polish and a few silly, funny lines of dialogue, Barbarella isn't very much of a film. I don't know where it got polish or silly, funny lines. They're being very generous. Anyways, Brunetta Alder of the New York Times on May 9, 2005 wrote, throughout the film, there is the assumption that just mentioning a thing, i.e. sex, politics, religion, makes it funny, and that mentioning it in some offensive context makes it funnier. Yeah. It does kind of have that with a lot of her, like, Let's read a positive review. Colin Cavert from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune wrote, it's fun in a what were they smoking kind of way. Okay.
Fair, maybe if you're smoking what you're smoking.
So, like, are most bad movies, like, positively reviewed by this guy? Like, does he love, like, Soul Plane? Or, like, Mac and Devin go to college or go to high school, whatever that fucking movie is? I bet you this dude gave, like, 3.5 stars to How High.
Wow.
I know, that was a lot of unnecessary call-outs or whatever.
Going hard at those movies.
It was. It was mean. It's not cool. And Edward Guthman of the San Francisco Chronicle wrote, Fonda looked sensational and glided through this romp like a dazed, ripe to touch innocent.
Okay. I think that's the last review we need to read. Let's move on.
Does this guy still have a job?
Oh, I think it's going to keep going if you go down with the percentage that it is, so...
Yeah.
It's got to just be ridiculous.
Barbarella is a gift-wrapped X certificate bonbon for a space-age nursery. I give up. I'm done. Alright, let's get into wearing it! So, doing a little Google image search here, because I'll be honest, I've never read a Barbarella comic, mainly because I'm aware of porn. So, if I need porn, I'll watch porn. So, but it seems here like she has like a red outfit with the yellow, or not yellow, but gold accent a lot. And it's kind of cute. I like her boots.
Yep.
Nothing like anything she wears in the movie.
No.
Like, they fucked up hard if this is her regular outfit throughout history. It's just a red jumpsuit. Sometimes with yellow in it, sometimes not. Like, all she did was wear, like, space porn clothes. Okay, she looks a little skimpier here.
Yeah, that looks like an older one.
Yeah. And she's also a redhead there. Maybe that's not her.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I mean, these are just the basic images that come up when you search Barbarella.
That one's pretty similar.
Yeah.
That one's not. Most of them seem to be of that.
Yeah, the red jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thumbs down on the wearing it, man.
Right.
A, because all the outfits were god-awful. The set designs were god-awful. And not a red jumpsuit to be found anywhere.
Nope.
Anywhere. And Jane Fonda had the body for a red jumpsuit. I mean, obviously they showed it off as much as possible in the ugliest ways imaginable. Jesus Christ. But, yeah. That was wearing it! There's no blind rank for this, because thankfully there's only one of these fuckers.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely the worst Barbarella movie. For certain. I don't know if I want to give it best. But, the characters was created by a man named Jean-Claude Forest. I didn't want to delve too deep into his history. There's enough grossness on here. I was afraid of what else I'd find. So, let's get into this fucking movie, dude. We open up on her spaceship. Her very furry spaceship.
While she's spinning and floating naked?
Well, here's my question. She's in a space suit, connected to tubes that we never see the other end of when we open up, and then, like, she zips off every ligament of her limb first, and then the chest piece. So then she's floating around nude, and we're getting, like, side nipple and bottom nipple and, like, all sorts of weird angles, and her hair's going in 7 different directions.
Yeah.
Why was she in a space outfit? Why was there a spacesuit? Why was it the world's ugliest spacesuit? Why was it forest green and purple?
Yeah, it was weird, man.
I mean, like, Jane Fonda was pretty. And they put her in some ugly... her in some ugly fucking outfits in this movie.
They put everybody in some ugly fucking outfits in this movie, though.
Yeah, even the kids. There's way too many kids in this movie. We'll get into that.
All of them were evil.
Yeah, they were all little shitheads. And, like, after she's done floating around being naked, like, just long enough for creeps to pop off right before the title credits end, we open up to a phone call from the President of Earth?
The President of Earth, yes. And she goes, is just standing there and not covering herself.
Yeah, she's like, oh, let me put something on. He's like, don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
And she's just fine.
She's like, let him breathe. Let him breathe. And so the president had horrible eye direction from the camera angle. So I think he was told that the TV was going to be above her or something, and so he would look down to her. But the way it was at eye level, so it just looked like he was staring at her boobs.
Yeah, it was just up a little bit, and he seemed to think like he was going to be way up looking down.
He was way down at first, and then looked up, which made me think his direction was he was going to look at her boobs first, and then look up at her face after a minute. But instead, he just stared at her crotch for a minute, and then looked up to her boobs. And it was very awkward that he delivered the whole scene to her boobs. The whole thing.
So then he just sends her somehow a bunch of weapons that just appear out of nowhere?
Just by making boner noises.
Because she's gonna go look
like,
for something?
Like, I'm not trying to be a pervert. Like, I know
boing.
Yeah, lots of boings.
Like a
boing,
spring.
Boing, boing,
That's
boing.
the thing, right?
Yeah.
Spring. Yeah, it was weird. That was also the sound when it malfunctioned, too.
Yeah, oh, dude, we got a repeat of so many noises in this movie. Like, when, like...
They had a limited soundboard, okay?
4. Like, when... After she gets all these weapons and stuff, she's, like, supposed to go in some cryo sleep while she's trying to get to a planet. and all of a sudden her ship starts malfunctioning when she's getting closer and closer, and so we hear like this weird wah wah sound or whatever. Like wah wah wasn't the sound, but it was something like annoying and irritating like that. And then later on, we see like these evil like black robots. Like what were they called again?
I don't remember.
Black Knights or something? I don't know.
But yeah, she crashes and the kids...
But the sound in space is the same as those robots later in the movie. It's very strange.
Yeah.
But then we get to meet kids.
Yeah, kids.
Go ahead. Tell us about the kids, Pat.
They catch her and then they feed her to porcelain dolls with metal teeth.
Razor sharp teeth. And how was the pacing of that scene, Patrick?
Awful. I didn't understand any of it. She just started... They locked her up. She started screaming at the top of her lungs when literally the dolls are just moving.
Yeah, and then
it just looked so ridiculous.
Yeah, they're barely walking at her, and she's like, "Help! Help!
Yep.
Oh God!" And then she started making faces like she was like, this movie felt like a porn to me, so everything in my brain was adjusting through porn. So it was just like, she was like that girl that was in the scene where he's like, he's jabbing me wrong, so I'm just gonna lay here and be bored. Like, it was so, she just, after a while, looked bored of it, and then he started biting her, and then she was like, no.
Yeah, it was savage. All the bite marks on her too. They did it to her twice.
Yeah,
they made her do that scene twice. God. Basically, it was just like, we're gonna peck you and have you bloodied everywhere twice.
And both times afterwards, men rescue her, and then she has to fuck them.
Yep,
because they request it.
Yep.
The only time she ever makes the first move is with a blind angel. Which we will get to.
Who also informs her about the black robots.
Yes, but we haven't even gotten to Chewbacca Man. Yeah, so Chewbacca Man saves her because he's a kid wrangler.
Mm-hmm.
And his robots catch them with a net and then whip the shit out of him.
Yep.
Like, we see 7 good cracks on camera. Like, not where you actually see contact with the kids, but you hear the and then you see kids' faces that the whip didn't go in the door. Yeah.
Yeah, they net them and drag them away.
And it's like, so they can go work for the government of this planet. And it's like, really a fucking bummer and gross and not cool. And she's like, okay, I'll get in your spaceship with you.
And all of this is because they live on a planet that is on negative energy that feeds off of evil, right?
Yeah, and like, what was his thing? People don't raise their kids; they just let them loose into the wilderness until they're of age to like.
I don't even know. It just seemed like that. They never said that, but he's like, yeah, I just get the kids and bring them in.
Yeah,
like, and then it seems like the rich people had kids. Because when she showed up, when she got captured, there were kids in there.
Yeah.
Too. So I don't know. It was just very strange.
Yeah, nothing about this movie was like made any sense at all. I don't, because then he brings her back to his quarters or whatever, and again he's wearing a Chewbacca outfit with no head cod, and I'm like, this whole shit is fucking my shit up right now. Like, all the weird noises in the background, and now this guy is like, it's like Santa with no hat or beard. It's so odd. Take the outfit off, man. I don't like it.
And as you were saying that, he takes the shirt off, and he's hairier.
Oh my god!
I couldn't believe
He's so
it.
hairy.
He couldn't believe it.
Like, it looks like he got wig pieces glued onto his chest. There's just such big, thick patches of hair. Yep. Like, across the shoulders and everything. It's so much. And, like, he convinces her to have sex the old-fashioned way. Because how do they do it on Earth now, Patrick?
Oh, they take a pill and touch hands, and their hair goes like wacky. As they kind of just shake every 12 seconds, I'd say, somewhere.
Yeah, well, there's, like, a metronome going on under them.
It makes no sense.
I'm glad you were able to get through that mostly with a straight face. I'm really impressed, honestly. Yeah. So he convinces her to let him have sex with her. And
then it shows her singing afterwards.
Yeah,
Like,
she's like Ariel in The Little Mermaid when she finds a new human thing, where she's like, la la la, la la la. Bye, cat.
did not like you singing, bro.
Not at all.
What was that?
A production note, apparently. But yeah, so that all happened. How did we get... Oh, yeah. So she tries to take off in her plane again. Her plane malfunctions for whatever reason. And then it falls into an abyss thingy.
Yeah, it just dives into the planet.
Yeah.
Right? We can get back to the surface.
Barbarella! Says Chewbacca Man, as he never finds her. And we never see him again. He just shouts, Barbarella!
Well, the angel guy comes, and then the angel guy is everything after that, right? Basically.
That guy looks so much like the fucking leather twink in Rocky Horror Picture Show. I had to look it up to make sure they weren't the same guy.
The guy who played him just stood there and stared off into space for half of the movie.
Yeah. For most of the movie.
Because he's blind. And then the blind guy, she goes, what was that? And the blind guy goes, they're whatever the robots were called.
Yeah.
I'm like, the blind guy knows who attacked them.
Yeah, maybe. And I assumed it was because of the noise they made, even though we've heard the noise in like 4 other fucking occasions in the goddamn movie already. It was ridiculous. Pygor was his name. And then we meet Professor Ping, who has a shot glass on his forehead for most of the movie, and it falls off 2 or 3 times, and he just plops it back up there. Like, he doesn't actually use it for anything, I don't think, unless I wasn't paying attention. But I think we were paying pretty good attention throughout most of it.
He's just like, oh, I can never leave the labyrinth. She's like, I have a spaceship. He's like, oh, do you now?
Yeah.
Well, then let's go and do this thing.
Yeah. Let me go fix that motherfucker up. Let me see if I can give it a little extra juice. And, yeah, and like the labyrinth is the grossest thing you've ever seen in your life. It's just gray walls with people in them, I think.
Yep.
And they're all naked and dirty. And
some of them are invisible.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them are ghosts, like, in, like, the worst kind of way. And, like, just look like nearly Headless Nick if he belonged in, like, an actual horror movie.
Right.
Like, it was so odd. I did not like that part of the movie at all. And I didn't like the labyrinth. Kept making me think of David Bowie, and I don't want to think about David Bowie when I'm thinking about this. He's like actually cool cosmic beingness. This is whoa. Oh god. And then
able to be nice about a movie. That's what I want to know.
What?
I said, when are we going to be able to be nice about a movie? That's what I want to know.
April? Maybe. We got Tales from the Crypt next, so maybe we'll like that.
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't like that little zombie guy. He looks weird.
He is very creepy.
Whatever his noises. Okay, back to this piece of shit. So they have to go to a city called Sogo, which just kept making me think of BOGO, and I'm like, oh man, BOGO deals? Should I be searching the internet right now?
Wow.
I really don't want to be watching this movie, do I?
Yep.
And we meet the Black Queen, played by Annetta Pallenberg.
She saves her ass, and she doesn't even know that she's the tyrant, right?
Yeah. And like, okay, so Piper is played by a guy named John Philip Law, who I had to look up, not Jude Law's dad, which I was super bummed out about. I was like, don't tell me Jude Law's dad's in this pile of shit. No. She's got a daughter named Dawn. I'm sure she's nice. Anywho. So yeah, because perverts wanted to try and rape her, and the tyrant saves her.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, and when that happens, that was weird, too. They just take her, she's like, what are you doing with me? They throw her down, just look at her, and she's like, oh. And then that lady pops up, like, it doesn't even faze her.
Yeah. The misogyny in this movie is outrageous. Super insane. So, like, everything in this movie is just like, you're a fucktoy, and you're also kind of stupid. But for some reason, you were given weapons in a secret space mission so that Earth wasn't destroyed.
Yep. Essentially.
Well, okay. Cool. Great. And then, like, the tyrant wants Barbarella to have sex with her. And she's like, no thank you. And I was like, come on, we're already making everything else gross. We can't have a little... Whatever. Pardon me. Yeah, and all the villains are gay in this movie. And like that. Because clearly the tyrant's, like, at least a little lesbianic. And, I don't know. I read the fucking, bad guy, her henchman or whatever, as a gay man too, because he was very effeminate throughout the movie, which is just a thing in most old movies. Like, the villains are very effeminate, very homoerotic in some way or another, which is not fun to think about. Like, yeah, that's a thing for another podcast, another film podcast that deals with thematic plot points of movies. We're just dudes that can hardly recite a movie we watched 10 minutes ago. You could have cut me off at any point there, bud. That would have been great. Thanks. I know. I mean, we got introduced to the concierge, or whatever the fuck his name was.
He brought her to the queen.
Yeah. And they described the Matmus, which is like the liquid living being that eats people.
Yeah.
So that, it doesn't eat everybody, they sacrifice people.
So basically, she has the angel and they have him, like, crucified, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, she grabs the queen, was gonna melt her face.
Yeah.
And then the guy...
like, uncrucify him, which is, like, weird.
And then they threw her in with the birds where she gets eaten again.
Dude.
But some guys just happen to have a magic chute built under the bird feed killer, and she just slides to them.
Okay, so again, I'm pretty sure this movie came out after The Birds.
Yeah.
So, like, the only thing that they really changed was, like, instead of pigeons, they used parakeets.
Yeah.
But, like, still, like, why are you using a house pet bird? Why is it on this strange planet?
They're colorful. I guess they thought they could try to get away with them looking semi-alien.
Speaking of animals, when we were talking about me and the kids, we totally forgot to mention the
blue rabbits.
Oh yeah, the blue rabbit. What the fuck was the blue rabbit?
There was blue rabbits. I don't know.
That was completely unexplained. That was in the chomping toys scene, and we forgot to talk about the Shining Twins fucking kidnapping Barbarella and bringing them to the fucking other evil kids on their fucking floating stingray. That was also a unicorn. It was a unistingray.
It was weird, yeah.
I feel so deflated talking about this movie.
So then, after that, she basically comes to discover that the concierge is actually the guy she's been looking for.
I think we're missing some stuff in the middle there.
Yeah, she escapes, and then gets captured again after smoking the essence of man.
Oh, right, yes. Which was weird.
Yeah.
That giant hookah with the guy who seemed like he was
hooked
dying.
up in it. Yeah, and they were smoking his life force. It was weird.
Yeah, why is she, like, so okay with people being, like, brutalized?
Yeah, and it, like, almost knocked her out until that guy came and was like, just come on, you're captured, let's go.
Yeah.
It was super weird. And then he took her to a, like, pleasure machine.
Yeah.
And hooked her up.
And it was supposed to make her orgasm to death?
Yeah, and then you found out that's the guy she was looking for to bring back to Earth.
Mm-hmm. That was, and I quote, Durand.
Yep.
Because he was hungry like the wolf. No, there was a D at the end of his name. What the fuck? Why is this guy named after...
He was 25 or 26 years old, and he looked like he was 50 because of all, like...
The madness.
The thing was feeding off his energy. There's, like, side effects or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his goal was to become, like, the leader, and then use the weapons to go and destroy Earth, right?
No, to rule Earth.
To rule Earth. That's right.
Yes. But, of course, you had to take out the Black Tyrant first in order to be the ruler. So, his thing was to try and... Oh, the reason she found out, was because they go to her Chamber of Dreams or whatever, which is like an invisible room that needed an invisible key, which is fucking ridiculous.
2 invisible keys.
2 invisible keys, that's right. 'Cause
they had one which opened it up and then he stole the other one.
Right, because oh my god, we missed so much. Because there was a hand sex guy that gave her the invisible key.
I missed that. I think that's when I ran downstairs real quick.
Oh yeah, weirdo with the fucking porn stash gave her the invisible key in exchange for the hand sex.
That's weird.
Yeah. Because again, sex is traded for goods and services in this movie. Oh, and we forgot to mention that the angel didn't have the will to fly anymore until he fucked Jane Fonda.
And then he was flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And she was singing in the nest.
I hate this movie. I hate it so much. Oh my god, so stupid.
So once she gets caught with the queen just goes, okay, well I can cause the apocalypse, so let's just do this, because we're going to die anyway, so everybody's going to die. And Barbarella just doesn't even try to stop her.
Yeah, no, she was just like,
and then
okay, cool. I mean, I'm already cool with whipping kids, smoking a man to death, everything else.
Still is innocent enough to get a bubble to protect her and the queen on the bed through the thing when everybody else dies.
She watched hand sex guy die.
Yeah.
Too, before the apocalypse happened, and then like allowed the apocalypse to happen, where like Professor Ping died, their little shot glass buddy, assumably Chewbacca man died. Like everyone dies, everyone except for fucking Pygor for some reason, because he's all innocent too, because he's an angel or some shit. And it's just like, the fuck is this movie?
It's ridiculous.
And then they float off into the ether or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Her spaceship has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
And they just fly away.
Yeah, oh yeah, Pygor just flies them away.
But where were they gonna go?
Yeah, and what does he say at the end when she's like, why would you save
her? She's done so many bad things. An angel has no memory.
After he recited to us why he didn't fly anymore and why he was blind earlier in the movie. Because of some magnetic electric storm. Who gave a fuck? But, what the fuck, man?
Why did he need to be blind?
There was no need for it. It's all continuity bullshit. And like, the only time it ever came into play was when they were trying to fly into the city, and they had those spaceships going after them, and like it was shooting at them, and then she shot back at them. Even though she said it was like a missile deflector when they were on the ground,
it was actually just a bazooka for her to shoot everybody down.
So what the fuck was the point?
Yeah, she just lied to him. I think it was like, I'll take everybody out.
Makes no sense.
Nope. I'm gonna stop trying to reason with it.
So, alright, on a scale of 1 to 10 ugly space costumes, what do you give this movie?
2.5.
2.5 ugly space costumes?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that's half her wardrobe for the movie. Reasoning behind it?
I just didn't enjoy it.
No? I'm gonna give it 1. I'm gonna give it one ugly space costume. Because I really hate the sound design of this movie. It's really bad. Like, it's very, very irritating. I wanted to turn it off like 4 or 5 times within the first 45 minutes. I had a little bit of fun towards the end once I got used to all the noises. And, like, everything started piecing back together at the end. I was like, oh, okay, this movie isn't, like, the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But
until it was.
Yeah, and it's damn near close. It's fucking wretched, man. I can't say I recommend it one bit. No. So
the do not watch category.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a thing where it was like, because we own all these movies now. Do we keep it or delete it?
Yeah. I said we throw that one in the rogues gallery. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that is going in the black abyss. Bye now. No, you're going in the, what was it called again? The Matma or whatever? Come on, I knew it was written here somewhere. I just said it 5 minutes ago too. Whatever it was, you can hang out in the labyrinth that I'll never visit ever again. Where can people find you, Patrick?
At PopTopPat, Twitter.
I'm at Drew Dorrance, at Cold Pizza NY in the Instagrams and the Twitters for all of our other updates on stuff. Make sure to like and subscribe on whatever you're listening this to. Thank you for actually making it through this whole fucking episode. That was 100 minutes of our lives. We're never getting back, Pat.
It's over. It's finally over.
It's over. We're done. One more in the books, kids. And as always, make sure to stay tuned next week for Tales from the Crypt.